All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Black Desert. My name is John, and today we are going to be doing an hour at Ash Forest. Why? Because today was patch day, and they actually buffed this spot. And by buffed, I mean the trash loot is you get more per enemy. So we want to try it out and just see how much we can get. Realistically, is this a big change for Ash Forest? No, the biggest change they could have made for this is the higher Deboreka drop rate. And if you guys have ever wanted to see me enhance Deboreka, I think we're about 150 billion down, maybe a little bit more. So you guys can watch me. Our goal is to get Pen eventually. And so, yeah, we're going to do an hour here and just see what it's all about. And I think I'll do it in the Marnie realm, just so you guys can have an idea of what I do. This spot is kind of empty, at least for now, for me anyway. But yeah, we'll just do an hour in Marnie realm so you guys can copy everything. Before we actually go up, let me make sure I have everything popped. Crystals. I use resistance here just because the knockdown. I'm a Dark Knight. Things are different. Alright, so we'll be using elixirs. Realistically, I don't think you need elixirs here unless you are less geared, but aside from that, what else I use? Death blow resistances. Alright, cool. But yeah, I missed the drop rate buff. We're only on 250 now. And man, we're down to one base Debo left, and we failed an attempt earlier today. It didn't downgrade, which is a good thing, but we lost 12 billion enhancing it, which never really feels good. But if I can get more base Debos, that'll be great. I realistically don't think my trash loot's gonna go up too much. I'm thinking probably mid 5,000s loot at the end. So ultimately, I don't think anyone is ever here for the trash loot itself. Like, if you're trying to grind for money, this place, it ain't it. But hopefully all of you going for 10 Debos one day. I hope by the time new players get to this spot later on that they'll buff it in terms of drop rate and everything. Or at least they'll have more sources of getting it. So some people are actually predicting that, you know how they have the Ataraxian dungeons, right? So right now we have 3 dungeons, and the 4th one, people are speculating that they might give Deborekas in the 4th one, but who knows? I think that would be a cool idea though, just because Debos are very difficult to obtain. If I can get one necklace this hour, that would be excellent. Honestly, that's what I pray for, like every hour I grind here. Just one necklace. But I think my average is probably about one Spectre's Gaze or a necklace, basically the same thing, per 3 to 5 hours. And I know you can get like 1 an hour with doing Dekia, but man, that's scary. If they made crystal, like they prevented crystal loss permanently, or have some other system where you don't just lose them at a 1-to-1 rate, I think I would absolutely do Dekia. I think next time I do a click for a Debo, I'm probably gonna try to get close to a 280 stack before clicking, so I can get maybe like 14% instead of a 13% for enhancing. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, welcome to endgame. These are literally best in slot gear that you cannot buy easily. Also, I tried this on a Wusa a few weeks ago. Man, that is just like actually easy mode. But there's just something about playing it on Dark Knight. Feels like more chill. I don't know how to explain it. I just like playing on Dark Knight more. Wusa makes me sleepy. It's good though. Mostly, I think if you are able to grind this spot and you're thinking about using elixirs, I realistically think that the only real elixirs you need are like defensive one. Obviously, offensive is nice and it helps you, but if you're like strict on what you use, and I think that defensive is slightly more important, especially if you're lower geared. Well, I mean, just like have the full rotation ultimately, but to me, I think defensive is nice. Also, they buffed Achman and Histria today, and it's basically instead of 15k trash loot at Histria, it's 20k per, which is, you know, pretty nice. If you use Agris for an hour, you're basically getting about 400 mil just from trash loot alone instead of 300. Also, they had a buff today for people who can do Calamity 7 bosses. You can get like a loot buff for doing the green ones, AP and DP for red and blue. So I think that's cool. Might actually have to start pushing Calamity 7s now that I know I can get like a 3-hour buff for doing it. So I think my average when I grind here is probably around like 4,800 trash loot. I guess it depends on like a lot of factors, but I think my average after a lot of hours is about that much. You know, one thing I would still like to get the Rich Merchant Ring piece here. People said you get it within like 60 hours. Yeah, I don't know about that one. This is kind of a weird hour. We haven't gotten any Afuarus or leaf drops or anything. All that matters is if we can get one Debo. I still don't really know how to pull this properly because sometimes I feel like the one all the way at the corner like aggro's sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the Barnus comes out. This is just a weird pull for me. Yeah, like this one, sometimes it'll up faster. I actually did get enough for another Orzeka helmet and leaves while grinding here, so I don't know who to put it on. Just have the extra leaves. Yeah, if you didn't catch today's video as well. Well, oh god. But we talked about all the current events going on, and I think Life Skiller should be happy. We have a life buff going on, and Rift Bosses. We talked about how that needed to be buffed over time, and what I would do to just change it. But hopefully, maybe one day in the future, they take some feedback. Yep. Also, did you guys hear about the cron changes coming soon? I think the other servers are getting it like next week. I'm not really sure, but man, I'm gonna make another video talking about that exclusively. But basically, well, we've talked about this previously and mentioned how it's going to be changed, and vendor crons are actually going to be more expensive, and how that affects the economy and like player growth in this game. And realistically, when they increase the vendor crons, I think that that's not good, because it makes it harder for newer players to catch up. And trust me when I say, like, I understand that people have been playing this game for years and they want their gear to be validated, and trust me, I get that as an endgame player myself. But at the same time, if the game is dead, you know what else is worthless? Your gear. So I think I've always been a fan of catch-up mechanics for new players and everything. But I just think this change that they're making, they're literally making it harder for new players. And like the only people that win out of this are Pearl Abyss and like the people who are veterans with like over 700 gear score. It doesn't affect them. Well, not as much. I mean, it'll still affect me, but like when I'm still going for Debo clicks and everything, it's just going to cost me like 30 billion instead of 24 billion, which still doesn't feel as good. But overall, the Cronstone price for costumes from people selling it, I think that's fine, but they should have just left the vendor ones the same. Also, you know what a nice quality of life change would be? Being able to actually see all my buffs instead of it being capped out at a certain number. Because like if I look at my bar, I'm using 13 elixirs plus food plus Alkstone and everything and other buffs. Can't even see all of them. Yeah, sometimes this pulls, sometimes it don't. Okay, so we've been grinding for 15 minutes and we have 1700 trash loot. That's cool, I guess. I don't really remember what I had 15 minutes when I grinded pre-buff, but I guess that's cool. So I guess it's worth killing the Gyros now. Usually you, like, if you're going for Debos, the highest chance of you getting one are probably Volcrus, to be honest. That's just my experience. I still think that the Debo prices for base and pen are, like, still a little bit low. I think, so right now I believe if you were to sell a base Debo, it's like $8.25, which sounds like a lot until you realize you get like one every 3 hours. But then, yeah, I don't know, 3 to 5 hours, that is, like, it's not good. I still don't understand why this place is so awful. It's a 300 AP area. It's not even supposed to be easy. And yet people who grind centaurs literally make more money here. Like 2 buttons. Every time I see that, I think it's something else, because when you're at Ash Forest, the only things that appear are Debos, the leaves, Rich Merchant Ring. I hope someone can beat a Calamity 7 boss, a red one, while we're at it, because I want that AP buff. Or a drop rate, a green. Yeah, just someone do a Mugi 7 real quick. Actually, now that I think of it, we've rated the bosses before, in my opinion, of what I think is the easiest. Of the green bosses, I'm pretty sure Sangoon 7 might be the easiest. Whereas Mugi might be the toughest. Gumiho is a pretty tough one, as well as, what is the other? Duoxini. Yeah, that one. That one's kind of rough. One Spectre's Gaze. Every time I record, Game is like, nah, we're not giving you any accessories today. We're not even gonna give you a leaf either. Sometimes I wonder, is it worth killing these or just going on? You get more trash loot, but lower rate of debos, which is the primary reason we're here. Vector's gaze one time. That would be nice. Also do want to grind the new Ulakita area for the telescope in the future. But man, I think I just need gains more. Afuaru, first one in 20 minutes. Got stuck on the tree. Hooray. Made it. Eventually, like, my goals for, like, I guess next year, 2024, hit level 66, which levels really don't really mean anything after 61. It's just, yeah, you get some stats, but it's not notable. It's just it's nice to have. But I do want to just say I have a level 66. But then here I am grinding worst silver, worst XP spots. But overall, I think my goals for next year probably transition into full pen debos. Yeah, they made the change today, so you see these things that has like the dots under it. It shows you like the tier. So if you have like 3 dots, it's at try, 2 dots duo, 4 pet. I wonder when they're going to make Pen Fallen God, you know, not a meme. Ooh, a leaf. Yeah, I definitely can tell the difference in drop rate from like 300 to from 250. Felt different. Also, we're broke again in this game. We have 200 mil. We did another pen debo click, which you guys will see in maybe a highlight video soon. Obviously it didn't go, but I'm prepared to be the next meme on Reddit who spends like 3 trillion silver and doesn't get a pen debo. That's gonna be me. I don't know what the aggro radius for the barn nest is, because he's by the tree, but then he just comes over sometimes, wants to say hi. Another artifact, that's cool. Good news, actually. We got 1 strike crystal. We ordered it, so I'm happy with that. I need 1 more, but I think I have to look at the combinations again, but I think at very minimum I want 2 strike crystals, and at maximum we'll need 4 for some combination. If they can make light stones not break unless you're red karma, they could do that for regular crystals. think we hit that one. Oh my god, dude. Dark Knight 100s do like no damage in PvE. Have you ever seen a Drac 200 in war before? That's actually kind of crazy. They just fly in the air and like carpet bomb people. It's actually kind of nuts. I've seen montage clips of that. Kind of cool. Valk 100s. Zerkers. Oh wow, we're at 3,700 trash already, and it's only been 33 minutes, roughly. Wonder if we can hit 6k loot. I think if we actually, instead of ignoring the Gyros and actually killed him, we could probably hit 6k or very close to it. You know you want to give me a necklace. Sometimes, honestly, when I enhance, it feels so bad. I legitimately think about just selling gear and then like, maybe I'll wait and then we'll save up 300 bill and buy a pen debo. But that's not happening. Like, actually, I would love to be able to, but there's been 5 sold in like the 3 years it's been out. So I think if the best way they could do or increase Deborekas is, quite honestly, add more spots that drop it, aside from like if you want to neck more than Ash Forest and like the dungeons, or increase the drop rate. Obviously that would be an easy fix that they don't really have to actually do anything. Raise rates. Or, you know, put them in Rift Boss boxes so people will actually do them. I've always actually done my Rift Boss weeklies, and like I do that because I have free time. But like if someone has like an hour to play a day, like let's say your average person, you get off work and you're just like, okay, I got an hour or two to play the game. Rift Bosses, that ain't it. Oh, hello. Surprise. Not even a leaf. You know what it's time for? It's time for them to add a new costume. And by that, you know how they have Orzeka and Nuverkint right now. It's time for them to add a new one. I don't know what it could be, but something for that's not too difficult to grind, but it still takes an amount of time. Not like treasure item difficulty, but like doable, if that made any sense at all. I think infinite potions now are like the perfect amount of time for grinding for a reward. I think it should be like that level of difficulty. Oh, come back. Hello. I just need to know the perfect place to stand to aggro them every time, and then that would literally solve my problem. Because they come out late. Where did that one come from? Good news, we get Capra stones. That's kind of helpful. I still wonder what went on in Prolibis's decision making. It's like, okay, we know Ash Forest is terrible. What are we gonna do? We're gonna raise the trash loot. That, like, it's good, obviously, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you played the game, you would actually know what the problem is. And you're not here for the loot. Obviously, it's nice, but you're here for the Debos, let's be real. all it takes is one person at Prolibus that actually plays this game and would have grinded here for more than 3 hours to realize what the issue is and how to fix it. If I was a Wusa, all I'd have to do is do 2 hops and then rain thingy, and everything's already dead. But no, I have to group everything up on Dark Knight. Hey, good news. We have about like 20 minutes left on the grind, and we're at where we would normally be in trash loot at the end of the hour. So I guess we can see how much of a bonus it actually made at the end. My goal is probably around 6,000 trash loot. If I can get more, it just, you know, it's nice. How about we raise the Debo drop from like 1 every 3 hours to 1 an hour? I think you should be rewarded for grinding a 300 area, 300 AP zone. Like, there's a reason why Crypt of Resting Thoughts is a place you grind for exactly 2 items. Rich Merchant Ring piece and Debo belts. Got 2 artifacts. How many leaves did we get? 2 leaves as well. Bruh. This hour, not looking good. I thought I pulled all those. Apparently I didn't. Maybe if I go over here and pull everything and then stand over here. We're trying new pulls. Double Barnus. Don't worry. You saw that miss. I saw that miss. We all saw it. How much is the trash loot worth here? 35k. Wow, we get a whole 35 mil extra. Still don't think it's Agris worthy, but if we do another hour, which we will, I'll test it out. I don't think Agris is worth it here though. Like, you're better off using it in most other spots. I think people or classes that do a lot better can probably pull like 7 to 8k here now. Assuming, well, I don't know. I don't think I saw any notes where Marnie Realm is worse than non. So it's probably the same, but I think like a Wusa, Zerker, Megu, any class with bigger AoEs could probably do like 7 to 8k here. Oh my god, that like hard froze. I thought I was just like, oh, I lost a crystal. That was literally the first thing that went through my mind. I'm like, it's over. Wow, pretty cool. We got 10 minutes left and we're at 6k. Pretty good. All right, let's push 7k and see what we can do. You know what would be something that I would really love to have in the game, but they would never add? If you could trade X amount of trash loot to an NPC for a guaranteed accessory from that area. I know that's basically the same as selling the trash loot and just buying it off the market, but you know, like for items like Debos, for example, which you cannot do, I think that would be good. So it'd have to be like somewhere equal, or maybe like at a worse value, but you're doing it for, you know, the convenient purposes. So like, I don't know. Let's say it takes about 25,000 trash loot to save up and buy a Debo from the market, right? You could do like 30,000 trash loot to an NPC, and then you could just straight up exchange it. So it's different from just being able to buy it and like, it's like, oh, okay, so silver, and then just the way it makes sense in my mind is you would still have to be able to grind the area. So it's like you're not just trading up, oh, like, oh, I grinded somewhere else and then have loot here. But no, like you have to be able to grind the area, get enough trash loot, and trade that trash loot in for Debo at an equal and or slightly lower value or convenience. I would absolutely do that if I know I can like see the light at the end of the tunnel for Debos. Buff 100s from other classes when PvE hundreds. I think that's one thing they should actually work on, because I've seen classes who have like extremely good 100%, and then there's DK. It just almost like we just don't have 100. I will admit though, in PvP, DK 100s are pretty decent. Not the best, but just average. Alright, game. 6 minutes. Just give me a Debo. I've lost over 150 billion trying to enhance a Debo. I need a break. The grind doesn't end. And then in a few weeks or next month, I'm probably going to have to spend 3 mil a cron stone instead of 2 mil. Which actually, like, it does affect everyone, yes, but it affects new players more. And I'm like, here I am. Remember when Landed a Morning Light came out and they were doing all these good changes, and I thought it was like, oh, everything's in a step in the right direction now, and then they do dumb stuff like this, and I'm like, well, 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, whatever that saying is. Literally how I feel right now. I do want to grind Olins again at some point. Ooh, another leaf. I'll trade like 100 leaves for one Debo. No, actually, no, that's not even a good trade. Well, actually, yeah, I would. I don't need another Orzeka set. I got my title and everything. Wow, we might actually make 7,000 loot. You know, I bet if I actually remembered and put on my Narc gearing for combo damage and actually had full damage artifacts, or not artifacts, light stones or crystals instead of resistance ones, I bet you I probably could have been at like 7,500. Maybe more. Sometimes I unironically think about going double, either double narcs, but I think my end game goal is going to be one Pendisto, which I have, and one Dawn, the accuracy one, because I do PvP a little bit as well. I would like them all, but easier said than done. And you guys know my enhancing RNG. All right, 1 minute left. Whenever my elixirs run out, we're done. I want another Leaf game. I have to pull him here. If I pull him to the like the rock thingy, the one that was at the far edge of the Marnie realm area, that would have reset. Learned that through experience. No, buffs are going away. Sag. I have to actually go grind more truffles for protection pots. I hate that so much. All right, let me kill this pack and then we're done. So about 7,300 loot from, I guess, 4,700 before. That's an interesting number. It's like, what, 200 mil in trash loot? Still garbage, but, you know, it's better than before. All right, we out. All right, well, 7,300 trash loot. I hate how there's so many things I have to remember to do. Turn off thingy, pets on normal, turn off Elkstone. All right, so that was cool. Basically all the other loot is roughly average. 7,348. Let's pull out the calculator. Times 35,000. 257 mil from trash loot. Whew, that's hot garbage. Didn't even get anything. 6 leaves. The leaves are really nice though. Like if you're unironically thinking of getting the Orzeka pieces, Ash Forest is better than Thornwood, I can assure you that. But yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to test today. Thanks so much for listening to this video. If you made it through the entire hour, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.